Vienna City Council votes tomorrow on whether to expand alcohol by the glass sales citywide and allow sales as late as 2 a.m. Mayor Chad Emmerich says the change has sparked both support and concerns. Right now, Vienna's business district is split when it comes to alcohol sales, with by the glass allowed in part of town, but not in the area of 20th Street to 34th. The ordinance up for a vote would change that, opening the entire business district to businesses that want to serve alcohol by the glass. Supporters said it could help bring in new business and keep customers in Vienna later. Emmerich says some residents worry about how expanded alcohol service could impact nearby neighborhoods.
What I am required to do as the mayor is to represent all of those individuals equally and try to find a way that we can bring those kind of ideas and resolutions together so that we can stimulate economic growth. However, we're respecting in taking care of the residents that may already be in these areas and that would be affected.
So I think people are worrying about nothing. I don't foresee any major changes to seediness or nightlife or crime or anything like that.
Emmerich says the hopes of council taking public feedback into consideration before they make a final decision. The vote happens tomorrow during the Vienna City Council meeting at 6 p.m. If you want to speak, you'll need to arrive about 15 minutes early to sign up for public forum.